Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our super guide for Deathbringer Saurfang from Icecrown, the Knights of the Frozen Throne adventure. His mechanic is that he can only take damage from weapons. Now, you do still play a lot of minions just to control the board and make sure you're not dying from his minion damage. He does run a lot of weapons, so you remove his weapons, it helps, so you have weapon removal in there. Is one of your main tools. Obviously, you want to include weapons. Now, my whole thing is I want to beat these bosses with every single class, and there are a bunch of classes that don't have weapons that do damage. So for those few, we have a couple tools. The kind of fun way to do it is Blingtron, who gives you a random weapon, and one weapon usually won't be enough to kill him off, get through his 20 health. So ways to bounce it like Youthful Brewmaster, you play Blingtron immediately, bounce it so that he can't kill it and deprive you of generating more weapons. Later play it again when you can Brewmaster it again. And, unless you get unlucky and get really bad weapons, you should get enough damage. The other thing you want to do is when he plays his 2/4 creatures that heal him at the start of his turn, make sure to kill them with your minions. This is why you want to be ahead on board with minions, even though they can't do any face damage. You do not want to let those live, because you do not want him to gain life that make it even harder for you to actually get all the damage required with weapons. You don't want to waste your weapons on killing his minions. You want to be doing it with your minions so that all your weapon damage goes face. Let's look at the specific decks I used to kill him. First off is Druid, and of course Druid does not have any weapons. So, that do damage other than Twig of the World or whatever now, but that's not enough. So, we're relying on that neutral combo we talked about. Blingtron with Youthful Brewmasters to bounce Blingtron immediately after you play it. Captain Greenskin works well because whatever weapon you get, you hopefully buff it to have more durability, so you get more face damage across. Otherwise, you're just trying to maintain the board with, Malfury and the Pestilence really good. Spreading Plague to generate a wide board, Naga Corsair, by the way, buffs your weapon a bit as well. We also have the Ancient Brewmasters for more bouncing of Blingtron, so you can keep getting more and more weapons. And it also almost acts as like extra weapon removal, because you can overwrite his weapon. We do have direct weapon removal with our Gluttonous Ooze and Harrison Jones. Otherwise, a pretty normal Druid deck. We have Jade Idol and some Jade Synergy to keep generating bigger Jade Golems so that you do have full board control. Hunter fortunately has its own weapons, so between our Glaive Zukas, Eaglehorn Bones, and Gladiator Longbows, that's enough damage. So other than that, it's just a matter of being ahead on board. Again, we have weapon removal between Harrison Jones and Gluttonous Ooze. And otherwise, we're just playing good minions and a little bit of heal with Antique Heal buff that can keep us alive. Deathstalker Rexar as well to be able to generate some nice big minions later in the game to make sure we have board control to give us the time to kill him with our weapons. For Mage, we again have the neutral weapon package. Blingtron with Youthful Brewmasters to bounce and Ancient Brewmasters to bounce. Otherwise, we're mostly just playing value minions on curve, a bit of card draw with our Acolytes, some Taunt with Belcher, weapon removal package again of Harrison Jones, and 2 Gluttonous Oozes even in this matchup, and drawing Secrets of Ice Barriers to help us just stay alive longer. And Antonidas, again, the Fireballs cannot go face, but just helps pair that with a Flame Cannon for some extra minion removal. Nazoth to bring back your taunts to extend your longevity so that eventually when you bounce your Blingtrons, you get enough weapon damage to take him down. Paladin's a pretty good weapon class. So we have Uthra of the Ebon Blade for a nice 15 damage weapon. Tyrian Fordring also will end you up with a 15 damage weapon. Ragnar's Lightlord helps heal you. Vine Cleavers each are 12 damage. So that's plenty of direct weapon damage for the late game. Otherwise, we're playing good tempo minions. Doomsday to help clear his board as well. Keeper of Ulzamon really good for board maintenance. True Silver's even extra damage and healing. Gluttonous Ooze and Harrison Jones, clearly our preferred weapon removal package of choice against Deathbringer Saurfang. and yet again N'Zoth the Corruptor to help you bring back your Sludge Belchers, your Turian, and so on. Priest has no weapons, but I chose a different fun strategy than the Bouncing Blingtron of try steal all your weapons that will kill him from him. So Crystalline Oracles, Mind Visions, Thought Steals, and even Devour Minds, and Shifting Shades, just looking at steal cards and Curious Glimmeroots as well. Steal cards and steal cards and steal cards, and hope to get enough weapons. And if all else fails, Archbishop Benedictus to get all the rest of his deck and be able to dig through for weapons. You know, you'll have games where you just get unlucky and don't see any weapons from him, but yeah, you're looking overall to just take him down with his own weapons. One of the fun things you can do with Rogue is go with their old weapon, Poison Blade, and try to build that up to be a ginormous weapon that can take him down in a couple of turns. We again have weapon removal and draw with Harrison Jones, both Gluttonous Oozers, some tempo cards like Zombie Chows, but we're mostly looking to draw into our Poison Blade and just make it bigger and bigger and bigger. We also have Deadly Poisons to drive these things up. We also have Tinker Sharp Sword Oil in case we're not finding our Poison Blades. Lucky Do, Buccaneer, because we likely will have some powerful weapons, so that makes the cut as well. A fun one as well. Shaman has one of the best weapons in the game, Doom Hammer. If you can get the Doom Hammer out, buff that at some point with your Rockbiter weapon, you can just do a ton of burst damage and repeated damage over multiple turns. You have the great Shaman early cards, Tunnel Trog, Totem Golem, to have that board control at the beginning, Flame Tongue Totems to make them even more powerful at controlling his board, Lightning Totems, Mana Tide for draw to help you get to your Doomhammer. Later in the game, Doppelgangster Evolve combo to generate a giant board, and you have your taunts like Sludge Belcher to slow him down. Very powerful deck for taking out Deathbringer Saurfang. Warlock, another class that does not have inherent weapons, but I chose to play a Highlander deck, in other words, one of each card, which enables Kazakus, which is really cool, enables Reno Jackson to be able to heal for a bunch. And the way you are primarily looking to win is through Jaraxxus, Eredar, Lord of the Burning Legion. And to that end, we even play Sense Demons as another card that can draw us our Jaraxxus to make sure we get to that. Once you do get Jaraxxus, that's 24 damage, more than you need to bring down Saurfang, as long as you're killing his minions that can heal him and not wasting your weapon damage on any minions. As always, other than that, you're just looking to control the board, eventually Blood Reaver Gul'dan as well, so you can heal when he plays minions and stave off death. You have the Reno to get back up to full, or if you Jaraxxus, 15 at least. You know, Warlock always a very powerful deck, though with Highlander, as always, you know, there's a risk you don't draw everything in the right order. There is two of in the deck, Sludge Belcher, so make sure you draw on one of them before you do your things like Kazakus and Reno. The deck I beat him with at the time, not actually deliberately designed to have the right tools, but has enough of the right tools. It's an aggro pirate deck, so it's built to take down enemies by getting a lot of cheap cheap pirate minions between your patches, N'Zoth's First Mate, South Sea Captain, etc. But between your weapons you can get from N'Zoth's First Mate, your Fiery War Axe, your Death Spike, and the ability to buff them with upgrade, you can actually get enough weapon damage in. So I was able to take him down with this deck at the time. But you can obviously make it stronger nowadays. You can put in Arcanite Reapers, Gorehowl, plenty of big hitting weapons to give you even more burst damage with your weapons. And that is the strategy we used for our deck of basic and common cards only to take him down. We went with Warrior because it has some really powerful common weapons. So we have Arcanite Reapers, Death Spikes, and just between those, that is 18 damage. We have Forge of Souls to draw into them. The interesting thing, oh, sorry, not 18, because there's 2 of each. So 20, it's actually double. 36 damage over the course of those 4 weapons. Plenty. You have card draw and good early creatures to maintain the board, acidic swamp oozes and toxic sewer oozes to give you weapon control on him. We also have fiery war axes I missed in terms of even extra face damage. That's enough with common and basic cards only to take him out, as well as a bunch of heal through heal bots to make sure we can stay alive in the process. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how to beat Deathbringer Saurfang with every single hero qual. He's not the most challenging boss out there, but interesting mechanic. Good luck out there if you're still yet to play it. It is, like I've said, a fun adventure to try out. Good luck. See you next time.